Your 20s are either going to be the foundation for a successful life or a hole that you will never escape. Trust me, I've been through it all. I'm a college graduate. I've worked federal job. I've slept around. I've gotten my heart broken. I've been fat. I've been skinny. I've been strong. I've made a lot of money. I've lost a lot of money. And here we are today. So I think I'm kind of qualified. So we have a tier list right here. It goes from ruins your life, sets you back years, common traps, holding you back, and it's okay. And then we have all of our pictures right here, and I'll explain every single one of them. So first things first, we're gonna go with the no hope. Now, the no hope mindset is thinking it's too late at like 25 years old. This is the only mistake that you cannot recover from because it stops you from getting and trying to fix anything else, okay? So that ruins your life, okay? I'll tell you straight up, that will ruin your life. The reason I say that is because the people that think that they're gonna make it, they're telling the truth. The people that they think they're not gonna make it, they're telling the truth. Both people are right. If you think that you have no hope, bro, you're cooked. Like, it all starts with your mindset, and that's just how life works. Next thing I want to talk about is addiction. Now, addiction can go as far as drugs, alcohol, gambling. I will even go as far as playing video games, because I've had that before. Sleeping around. First of all, that gets you to procrastinate a shit ton, bro. You have no idea how many times I have plans to like either work out or to work on a business of mine, and a girl's like, oh, I want to see you tonight, and then boom, that plan, it has completely changed just because I wanted to get some buns. So that's gonna be ruins your life. 100% ruins your life. Obviously, you can change every single thing on this list. So if you do this, it's not too late to, change that. Next thing I want to talk about is having kids before you're ready. Now, you got to realize that bringing a life into the world where you have like no support system or no financial base, you're setting your child up for failure as well as yourself. Your life is gone before it even started, especially in your 20s. Now, I'm not going to say having a child is the worst thing in the world, but I will say that it does change a lot for your life. I know this from experience. But like I said, a lot of things have to change. You have less sleep, you have less time for yourself, less time for travel. Not to mention that you have a chance of being a single parent, which makes things harder. Thankfully, I'm not one of those. But yeah, man, it's definitely tough to have kids before you're ready, and it's still tough to have kids when you're ready. Nobody is really ready to have kids, but you need to have a financial base, especially as a man, and you are definitely not allowed to have anything in the ruins your life list and have a kid. Like, that's a no-no. So yeah, we're gonna put that as ruins your life. It depends. Like I said, having kids is beautiful. Obviously, it's okay. I can put it here, but having kids before you're ready will ruin your life. It puts you in a cycle that it's hard to get out of. Next thing I want to talk about is legal troubles. Now, depending on what it is, obviously a night in jail because of speeding doesn't really ruin your chances at life, but one dumb fun night can lead to a felony record. It follows you at every job interview and every apartment application for the next 40 years. I personally don't need a 9 to 5 to survive, so I would be okay with this. Obviously, I have stuff to lose, so I'm not gonna go and be stupid, but like I said, these things will follow you. Some jobs, I worked federal jobs, I cannot have a single arrest record, no stalking charge. Obviously, like, you can't have these kind of records. So keep that in mind, especially for your future. This will go as ruining your life. The next thing I want to talk about is the wrong inner circle. Now, surrounding yourself with losers, surrounding yourself with addicts, surrounding yourself with people with victim mindsets, these are all horrible for yourself. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Putting yourself around people who are making bread, all right? People that are working out and jacked, people that are ambitious about life and have goals for themselves, you are going to naturally see yourself wanting to be better than that person, especially as a man. As a man, we are naturally just competitive. Every time my friend does something good, I want to do something better. It's nothing like hateful shit. I tell him straight up, like, bro, I'm about to, pop off next month with this much revenue, whatever. Do not have a team of horrible people around you. If you have goals and ambitions, let's say you wanted to start something online, like a business, and all these people around you are saying, this is not going to work. This is not going to happen. Do not do this. You're kind of cooking yourself for the long run. That's going to be the ruining your life list. Next thing we're going to be talking about is ignoring compounding / ignoring money. Now, saving $0 in your 20s is horrible. If you don't save a single dollar in your 20s, you're going to have to work 15 to 20 years longer than those who started early. Now, this is obviously for the average person in life. The average person isn't making $15,000 a month. The average person is making around $3,000 to $5,000 a month. And half of that, a lot of that is going to mortgage, apartment, car payments, kids, like a lot of stuff. So this will set you back years, okay? Like I said, it does set you back around 15 to 20 years of straight work on the average person. Next thing I want to talk about, and this one hits home for me, is high interest debt. Now, let's say you rack up $30,000 in credit card debt by 22, you will 100% spend most of your energetic years of your life paying off items that are already in a landfill. Do not use a credit card if you do not have the money for it. Obviously, if you are starting a business and you want to take that risk, you take that risk if you want to. I definitely did, and it paid off. But you are not me and I am not you. This can set you back years. I wouldn't say this is a life ruiner because you can get out of it pretty easily depending on if you lock in or not. Next thing I want to talk about is ignoring your health. As you can see, this guy's eating a burger. Let's say you're ignoring your health. You're treating your body like it has a damn respawn button. The back pain, the chronic illness will now be permanent by 35 years old. Take care of yourself. Have good posture. Don't eat junk. Stop drinking like crazy. The drugs, please, don't do that. That does catch up to trust. So I'm going to put that as set you back years. I don't think that ruins your life, depending on what it is. But I'll say that's a nice in between, is setting you back years. Now, next thing I want to talk about is blind obedience, such as being a sheep. Now, this is pretty much doing exactly what societies tell you without asking why. If it doesn't make sense, I simply wouldn't do it. An example of this would be going to college if you do not know what you want to do with your life. I graduated and I have now a bachelor's of psychology, and I went to college without knowing what I wanted to do. I wanted to take a gap year and figure my life out, but obviously, immigrant mother, that was like, hell no, you were going to college, no gap year. And now she kind of understands why I say stuff. But you do not need to go to college if you do not know what you want to do. It is simply, you're just signing your life away for 4 years when you can be ahead of the curve while knowing what to do. Obviously, go to college if it's required. So let's say you want to be a lawyer, you need to have a bachelor's degree, then to go to law school. Same with a doctor, same with a teacher. If you want to be a teacher, you have to have a degree. So, simple as that. So do not do what society tells you to do just because they tell you to do it, just because it's the norm. When I started social media, everybody thought it was cringe until I started getting 30 million views per video and just going crazy. So anyways, I would say that sets you back years. You are able to get out of this very easily. The next thing I want to talk about is going to kind of be a 2-in-1. It's just going to be this career thing, but you can see there's different careers in different directions. So first things first, you don't want to stay in a degree or field like computer science or art that you actively hate just because you've already spent 3 years on it, okay? You are able to get out of that if you want to. It's not too late to do that. Next thing I want to talk about with the exact same picture is no direction. Let's say you're waking up, you go to work, you scroll Instagram, you scroll TikTok, shaking ass, girls doing shit, and then you go to sleep. Years will vanish and you are literally just existing at that point. Obviously, it doesn't ruin your life. It can if it gets to a certain point. This can turn into addiction. This can turn into legal problems. This can turn into no hope, stuff like that. So we're going to call it as common traps. It is pretty common for people to stay in horrible careers, stay in a shit degree, stay in a spot where they have no direction and stuff like that. So that is pretty common, okay? The next thing I want to talk about is having comfort over growth. Now, let's say you're turning down a scary job in a new city or the difficult promotion because you'd rather stay home and play it safe. This is horrible. Imagine you are staying in a small town and you're struggling, okay? You need to be out of your comfort zone to succeed. That's simple as that. You need to be out of your comfort zone to succeed in life. This goes for women. This goes for having a job. This goes for having kids. You need to be out of your comfort zone at all times. You are not allowed to be comfortable. But that is a common trap that a lot of people are in. So I will put that in the common trap. Next thing I'm going to talk about is chasing validation. Let's say you're spending time and money trying to impress strangers instead of building your own value. Nobody really gives a shit of what you're wearing. And that's a big common trap that people fall in. So keep that in mind. Another thing I want to talk about is social media comparison. Now, this kind of plays a part with the validation, but social media comparison is tying your self-worth to someone else's highlight reel, and that pretty much just creates a false sense of being behind. This is huge, especially as a guy. I'll see a bunch of guys, renting out a Lambo, posting it, saying, I got a Lambo at 19, I got a Lambo at 21. That kills people's mindsets, because they're like, bro, how am I 23 years old and I don't, like, how does this kid 19 years old have this much money, have this kind of lifestyle, that can retire his parents, and I'm over here stuck at $3,000 a month? There's a problem with that, okay? So you need to stop doing that, and it is holding you back. Next thing I want to talk about is lifestyle creep. So let's say you are doing your job and you are getting your raises, you're getting your promotions, you're getting a bonus. Let's say you get a $5,000 raise and you immediately buy a car with a $500 monthly payment. Not that bad, but still, you're just a slave to a nicer paycheck. This is called lifestyle creep. Stop trying to upgrade your life as soon as you get a little raise or a little bit of money. That's what's holding you back. Another thing is being a doormat. What that means is being too nice and saying yes to everyone except yourself. You're gonna end up being respected by nobody, and you're not gonna be even respecting yourself. Let's say your friends wanna go out. Let's say your friends wanna, do some stupid shit. Well, you say yes. First of all, you're going to get yourself into some legal problems. That's a shitty circle, first of all. And you're just being too nice. They're not going to respect you at all. And you're just ruining yourself, okay? So this is what's holding you back as well, is pretty much just being too nice and not knowing when to say no. Next thing I want to talk about is screen addiction. Staring at your phone instead of being present for your family and friends. Now, I've had this problem before, especially with my family. First thing I do is wake up, look at my phone, check my comment section on Instagram, check my likes on Instagram, check my analytics on my YouTube channels. And that's like, bro, this also goes for playing video games and doing stuff like that. So this is what's holding you back. Last things I want to talk about is pretty much two things. I don't know how this got copied like a million times, but the last thing I want to talk about is chasing girls. Now, I don't think any man should be chasing a woman. I think every man should be chasing success. Every man should be chasing value. Every man should be chasing money. And as a byproduct of that, the girls will come to you naturally. I'm not just saying that to be weird or corny or cocky or whatever. I'm saying that from full-on experience. You work on yourself, the one will come to you, okay? Now, I don't think everybody is going to be, a millionaire. It's obviously impossible for everybody to be a millionaire, but you can work out every single day. Be the man that you need, that you respect. Be the man that your kids would respect. And, it's chasing a woman is unacceptable, okay? This should not be a thing, okay? So that ruins your life. It's normal to want one person in your life, but I do not think the act of chasing this is acceptable. And then the last thing I want to talk about is just asking for help. Imagine you have a team of successful people around you, and they are going to ask you questions, obviously, if you are valuable to them, but you are able to ask those people questions and increase your value and upgrade yourself and your knowledge and your life. So it's okay to ask questions. Stop being hard-headed. Avoiding that is going to put you as holding you back. Common traps sets you back years, but it is okay to ask questions. Notice how all of these are not okay. Social media addiction, lifestyle creep, being comfortable, being a sheep, eating shit, like credit card debt. Not all of these things are unacceptable, and you might have to reanalyze your life after watching this video. And I'm not just saying that just to be bullshitting. I'm honestly saying that because I mean that, because I was in every single one of these positions right here. I can explain that. I got into a bad breakup. I thought there was no hope. I've been addicted. What did I get addicted to? Chasing women, first of all. Chasing women because they validated me. I've been addicted to video games, wasted a bunch of times. Kids too early. I wouldn't say that ruined my life because I'm making $15,000 plus. Getting into legal trouble. You guys don't know my story with dropshipping, but I don't do dropshipping anymore because of a crazy lawsuit. Horrible friends around me. We used to go out every single night, get drunk every single night for 3 months in college. Okay, I've chased women before, not happening. I've been a sheep. I've been scared of what people thought of me, so I've been that. I've eaten like shit. I've drank like crazy. I've been in crazy credit card debt. Got out of it. I've been in comfort way too comfortable. This makes you lose your woman. This makes you lose your job. This makes you lose everything. I've seeked validation before. I've compared myself. I'm 23 years old and I see 19, 20-year-olds driving Lamborghinis. Obviously, I know it's rented because I've been in that same position as them. Lifestyle creep, as soon as I get a job, as soon as I get a big payout, I've spent $1,000 shoes, Louis Vuitton loafers, shit like that. Social media addiction, my job is on a screen. So this is kind of hard to break out of, but you know, I've managed that, okay? And I've done this. I've asked for help. I've done it all. So if you guys need any help, please feel free to comment down below with any questions whatsoever. Please comment down below, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.